where there were deleted pictures of him in a Chelsea shirt and all his pictures playing for Chelsea. Is there any clarity on whether the player is unhappy or happy at the club?
Well, I spoke with Wes every day. It's very, very happy. First of all, because he's back from the injury. He's joining all the session with us, and he's very happy. And as I said after Palace game, he was on the bench just to be with us. But from tomorrow, he is with us, and he can also get some minutes. So we are happy, and he's happy. And then about Instagram, as you know, unfortunately, I don't have an idea because I don't used to use social network.
On some of the comments after that, there were some pretty unsavoury messages from fans. Is he getting the support from the club, and are all players getting that continued support? Because it just feels like we're having often these conversations over and over again surrounding abuse to players.
As I said in this moment, Wes is happy, we are happy, and there is nothing to add on that. Now, I think if there are abuse, as you said, on Instagram, never is good. It's not good for Wes, it's not good for any player, and it's not good for any human being in the world. But it's something that unfortunately we cannot control.
Now let's move on to a team you said obviously Wesley's available tomorrow probably to play some minutes. Any of the injured players coming back at all for you?
No, Romeo is still out. Benoit is still out. As I said, Wes is back, and that's all.
And Nicholas Jackson suspended last week. Obviously, we understand the situation where he's potentially looking at another club, but is he available in your eyes tomorrow?
He is available, but he's not going to be part of the squad because, as we already said, we have two strikers, we have two players in that position, and also we know that something can happen before the window transfer close.
And is there anything on the horizon with Nicholas Jackson departing? Does he look close to a move away at the moment?
No idea, to be honest. No idea. You know already from last season that I prefer to be focused on training session, prepare the game, and these kind of things. I don't know.
And I assume that would be the same answer for Raheem Sterling, Chilwell, Christopher and Kunku. Is that the same situation?
Christo is with us like Nico, but it's the same answer than Nico. And the other two players, they are training apart, waiting for some solution.
Enzo, what would happen at the end of the transfer window? You've got quite a few players there. If they were to remain at Chelsea, could you integrate them back into
No idea. No idea. It's not the moment, to be honest. We have still, as you said, 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks, but not idea. Also because it's difficult to plan because anything can happen.
Okay, thanks, Enzo.
Thanks, James. Soraya?
Hi Enzo. You touched on this briefly before about João Pedro and Liam Delap playing together, but all his time in a Chelsea shirt he's played as a 9. We've seen him play between the lines at his other clubs. What situation would you play them together, and what other positions do you see João Pedro playing? Is he a second striker, left winger?
I think Joao with us, he can play the 5 position at the front, the winger, wide or inside the pitch, or behind the striker. I think he can play in all the positions for sure. Probably as a 9 or behind the striker is his best position, but he can play in all attacking position for us.
You've spoken about how you view your defensive options, and you said it's not just being a central defender with Levi Colwill being out. It's about being used to the way you play, and Tosin's probably the best suited for that. But you've got Hato, you've got Achiampong needing a bit of time, Alcemino as well. But are you going to change and adapt? Is this something in your mind that would be possible for you to do, not play and build up from the back? Or is it going to be a situation where if you don't get a centre-back, you're going to have to adapt and change that?
No, there is not in my mind, in my view, not to play from the back. As we said many times, you can be a little bit more direct when you face team that they try to be high pressing, but it's not in my mind at all to play in different way. Then I said already we used Josh in the last game. We are trying to find some internal solution, and we see.
And then you have West Ham next, first away game of the season. You beat them twice last season, so familiarity a little bit. What sort of tactical battle do you expect? Because last season you said, their pre-season they haven't looked quite gelled yet. There's a little bit of pressure even though we're at the start of the season. You said those teams are the most teams that you need to be wary of because they have something to prove. So what do you expect from that match?
Tough game again. All the Premier League games, they are tough. They are difficult. If you remember the game at home last year was difficult game for us. They defend very well. Tomorrow I expect exactly the same. And again, the Premier League just started, so you can see that they are trying to find some solution in the same way we are doing.
Thanks, Soraya. John?
Hi Enzo. How are you getting on with the search for a centre-back? Are you confident that you will get one in by the end of the month?
I already said that we are looking for internally solution, and I showed that last game against Palace, and we see what's happened.
But you are looking externally as well, presumably.
We are trying with, as I said already many times, to find solution.
Is everybody on the same page? Is that now, of the players you want to bring in, is that now the priority for everybody at the club to get a centre-back?
I said, and I repeat again, probably I need to improve my English. We are looking for internal solution, and we see if something happen.
Okay, and with players like Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku, do you have to be careful the way not careful, but you have to handle them carefully, because obviously there is a scenario where they could be here in September and you may still need them.
We see if they're gonna be here. They're gonna be with us. In case they are not here, that means that they found a solution. And at the end, I think it's always better if they can find a solution, because I think they're gonna be more happy, and the club the same.
And just a final one, where do you think the squad are at the moment? Obviously, you've had a lack of pre-season, you've had the Club World Cup. Is it going to take a couple of weeks to get up to 100%? Would you say?
For sure, with more time, we're gonna be better and better. But it's what it is. We need to adapt. I think we showed last week against Palace, where until the end we compete, until the end we create chances. And as I said, we're gonna be better and better day after day.
Thanks, John. Simon?
Enzo, just checking on Tosin. Is he still out, and any indication how long he might be out for?
Tosin is available. He's available for tomorrow. I'm a little bit surprised because last week he was not available, and the day before he was everywhere that he was not available, and now I don't know why you don't know that it's available. He's available.
I've been on holiday.
Very good for you. No, because surprised me the last week against Palace, the day before the game, he was everywhere that was not available, and now you don't know that it's available the day before the game.
Excellent. I'm glad I came back. And, but on Anselmino, he wasn't in the squad on Sunday. Is he, in terms of your internal solution, is he one of your options, or is it still a possibility that he'll leave alone?
Aaron is training with us. He's training very hard. He's fantastic boy, good player, but he needs to play games. He needs to go. He needs to play games. So
Enzo Maresca has confirmed both Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku will miss the West Ham fixture, as both players are training separately, whilst the club seeks solutions for their departures before the transfer window closes. Right then, Chelsea fans, we've got some major developments coming out of Carbon this morning that you absolutely need to know about. Our gaffer, Enzo Maresca, has just dropped some massive news in his pre-match press conference ahead of tomorrow's trip to West Ham. And it's all about two familiar faces who won't be making the journey to East London. Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku are both officially out of the squad for the West Ham clash. And Maresca's been refreshingly honest about why. Jackson is available, but he's not going to be part of the squad because we have 2 strikers in that position, and we know that something can happen before the transfer window closes, the Italian explained. He added that Nkunku is in exactly the same boat, training with us but waiting for a solution. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're bringing you all the latest Chelsea news as it happens, straight from the heart of West London. Now, let's dive into what this actually means for both players and our club. Jackson's situation has been brewing for weeks now. The Senegalese striker has reportedly told the club he wants to consider his options, and you can understand why. With the arrivals of João Pedro from Brighton and Liam Delap from Ipswich, Jackson's found himself well down the pecking order under Maresca's system. Aston Villa are leading the charge for Jackson's signature, with Unai Emery keen on a reunion with his former Villarreal player. The Midlands club have been exploring the conditions of a deal, though Chelsea's valuation remains a sticking point. The Blues are reportedly seeking somewhere between $60 and $80 million for the 24-year-old, which reflects their belief that he's in the same bracket as other Premier League strikers who've moved for big money this summer. Maresca was particularly interesting when asked about Jackson's potential departure. I think it's always better if they can find a solution, because they're going to be more happy and the club the same, he admitted. That's about as clear as you'll get from a manager essentially saying a player needs to move on. Christopher Nkunku's situation is equally intriguing. The French forward, who cost us $52 million from RB Leipzig back in 2023, has struggled with injuries and form since arriving at Stamford Bridge. Bayern Munich are the frontrunners for his signature, with the German giants reportedly preparing a permanent bid after having a loan proposal rejected. Chelsea are understood to want around $40–50 million for Nkunku, and they're not budging on their stance that any deal must be permanent. The club needs to generate funds to pursue their own targets, including Xavi Simons and Alejandro Garnacho, so player sales are absolutely crucial at this stage of the window. What's fascinating is how Maresca has handled this whole situation. He's been completely transparent about both players training separately, and he's made it clear that whilst they're still Chelsea players, the club is actively seeking solutions. Football speak for moves away from the club. The manager also touched on Wesley Fofana's recent social media situation, confirming the defender is very, very happy and back training with the full squad after his injury. Maresca was quick to condemn any abuse directed at players, saying it's never good for anyone involved. Looking ahead to West Ham, Maresca confirmed that Romeo Lavia and Benoit Badiashile remain sidelined with injuries, whilst Tosin Adarabioyo is available despite some confusion in the media about his fitness. The manager seemed genuinely surprised that reports suggested Tosin wasn't available, emphasizing that the defender has been training with the squad throughout. With less than 2 weeks remaining in the transfer window, time is running short for both Jackson and Nkunku to secure their moves. Maresca acknowledged this reality, saying it's difficult to plan because anything can happen in the final days of the window. For Jackson, Newcastle United have been strongly linked, but they appear to have cooled their interest as they await clarity on Alexander Isak's future at St. James Park. Arsenal have also been mentioned as potential suitors, though their pursuit of other targets may take priority. Nkunku's preference seems to be a return to German football, where he excelled during his time at RB Leipzig. Bayern Munich offer him the chance to compete for major honors whilst getting regular first-team football, something that's been lacking during his time at Chelsea. The bigger picture here is about squad management and Maresca's ruthless approach to building his team. He's made it abundantly clear that sentiment won't play a role in his decisions, and if players don't fit his system or aren't going to get regular minutes, they're better off finding new clubs where they can flourish. This transfer window has been about Chelsea trying to streamline their bloated squad whilst bringing in players who fit Maresca's specific tactical requirements. The arrivals of Pedro and Delap have given the manager options up front that he clearly prefers to Jackson, whilst Nkunku's versatility hasn't been enough to secure him a regular spot in the starting 11. As we head into the final stretch of the transfer window, expect more developments on both fronts. Chelsea need to get these deals over the line to fund their own incoming business, and both players deserve clarity about their futures ahead of what promises to be a crucial season for the club. That's all the latest from Stamford Bridge, but make sure you stay tuned because we'll be bringing you all the breaking news as these transfer sagas develop. What do you think about Maresca's handling of the Jackson and Kunku situations? Let us know in the comments below.